What's up guys, it's me, Straw Hat Nate, and it's been a while, but I'm back with a new Boruto video this month. And this month we got Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 10, titled Colonel. And it's a weird chapter title, but I promise it correlates to the content of the chapter. It all relates to Himawari, who has a massive power reveal in this chapter, which we'll talk about later in the video. She's not the only one who shows off her power this chapter, because Sarada is another character who has leveled up in the time skip. But on the other hand, this chapter also delivers a huge death that seems to be overshadowed by the power reveals of this chapter, but the implications of this death are kind of big for the Boruto series overall. So if you want to know who dies, then stay till that point in this video, and without further ado, let's begin the chapter. Make sure you like and subscribe first though. The cover this month is Himawari, who takes most of the spotlight in this chapter, but she's accompanied by Kurama, the Ninetales, in a young form, since she awakens to Kurama's power in this chapter. And to begin the chapter now, we see Team 10 flying away with Himawari on Inojine's ink bird, while Jura and Hidari are talking on the ground. And then a Jonin group led by Konohamaru pulls up on Hidari and Jura, which will definitely not be enough to stop the two Shinju. Konohamaru talks to Shikamaru telepathically, and they're confused about why the Shinju are targeting Himawari. Boruto and Kawaki, who are also on the line with Shikamaru, overhear this and get really serious because that's their sister. Shikamaru keeps talking, trying to tell Kawaki to make peace with Boruto for now at least, but Kawaki already took the initiative and is going in to save Himawari since he overheard it, showing that he actually loves his sister. Shikamaru shifts his conversation to Boruto now, who is still shaken up by the activation of his karma seal, so he's on break for a little while. Now, Jura and Hidari split because Jura wants to continue to go after Himawari. Konohamaru and his group want to follow Jura to protect her, but Hidari just stops them. And Hidari seems kind of stupid here because he asks what business does the Konohamaru group have with him. But that can just be explained by the fact that he's quite literally a newborn and he doesn't have human intelligence. Konohamaru then talks to the sensory unit about how Hidari and Sasuke have the same chakra signature, and he's confused by this, and he can't stand a fighting chance against Hidari, so luckily Sarada comes into the scene, followed by Sumire too. Hidari immediately shifts his focus to the girls when they come and teleports to them using Code's claw mark technique, and he goes to attack Sarada first with a Chidori, but she skillfully reacts. Her 3 Tome Sharingan activates first, then she dodges his Chidori attack, and then she hits him with a Chidori of her own, which actually lands on him. Sarada, looking back at Hidari while he heals from his wound that she just gave him, asks herself, who is this guy, because the only people who can use Chidori should be her and her father, but Hidari can't use it, and that's because Hidari, in a way, is Sasuke. Shifting scenes now, we go into Himawari's conscience, where Kurama in his young form is introducing himself to her, and this is Himawari's first time contacting him, so she's a little bit confused. So Kurama explains to her that they're conversing within her mind since they're one body and one soul. For a moment while they talk, we cut back to the real world to see Jura tailing Team 10. So the situation is dire. But then we go back into the conscious, though, where Kurama explains how he, as a tailed beast, died when Naruto used Baryon mode, but the embers of his soul remained. He relates these embers of his soul to kernels that are ready to sprout and make new life, which is where the chapter title comes in. He says that it's crazy that he sprouted so soon, but he thinks that it has something to do with Himawari being Naruto's daughter. Kurama then says that all of this is not really important to talk about because they really have to deal with the future, since Himawari is currently involved in an active chase in the real world. So in the real world now, on Inojine's bird, Himawari regains consciousness and calls on Kurama to help her. Jura, who's in pursuit, creates another tailed beast bomb with his eye and fires it through the wing of Inojine's bird, which causes it to start to fall. And while the bird falls, Team 10 is panicking, but luckily they have Chocho. Chocho has a move to protect them where she gets really big as a cushion for them, and it saves them when they plummet to the earth. But unfortunately, Jura lands besides them as they land. Himawari yells at Kurama to come out again, but he lets her know that she can only take control of the situation herself. She needs to figure out how to activate Kurama mode herself. Kurama then says that Himawari has a higher affinity towards Kurama's chakra than any previous predecessor, including Naruto, which gives credence to the idea that she can become stronger than Naruto in the future. And he tells her now that she needs to believe in herself first, so then she gains the courage to attack Jura alone. And this is a pretty bad idea because Jura simply just grabs onto her leg and breaks it, and then he throws her to the ground since she's just a mere child to him. As she lies on the ground, crippled by Jura's attack, he starts to entrap her in a tree like he usually does so that he can take her nutrients like he said he would. And Inojin attacks next, but gets shoved to the side by Jura and then skewered by a tree spike that forms from the ground. Inojin is completely impaled through his entire torso by this tree spike, so he is surely dead. And this is an insane turn of events because I never would have imagined that Kishimoto would kill an important and young character like this. Inojin's death here is the first death of a core Konoha shinobi since Neji back in the 4th grade Shinobi War. And Shikadai and Chocho are just speechless since their friend Inojin just died in front of their eyes. So it's only up to Himawari now. So Himawari breaks out of her tree in her Nine Tails chakra mode. She is now ready to wreak havoc on Jura in her new form. And I'll note here that this form looks a lot different from her father Naruto's first Nine Tails forms. First of all, there is no chakra surrounding her, like with Naruto's One Tail form. Secondly, her hair is flying around in 9 tails, essentially, like Kushina. And lastly, her eyes kind of resemble the Baryon mode eyes that Naruto had. So this could all mean that she is in a more advanced Nine Tails form than any of Naruto's early Ninetales forms. And that's all for the chapter though. Himawari is looking really powerful right now, but we'll have to see how she fares solo against Jura, who is definitely at least Otsutsuki level. Maybe her and Boruto together can do some serious damage to him, but I'm not sure about just her alone. And in the other fight with Sarada, she has proven to be much more powerful than we realized in the time skip, since she was able to land a Shidori attack on Hidari, who's also Otsutsuki level. Finally, I'd like to talk about Inojin's death once more, because I never would have thought that someone this important and this close to Boruto would have died this early into the time skip. We just need Boruto to come back into the action so that he could be the great, powerful savior of Konoha that he's destined to be. So we'll see if he comes back to help out his friends and sister in the next chapter. So I'll be here making another video on it then when it comes out. If you made it to the end of this video, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe because it will help me out greatly. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.